Hello, and welcome to another episode of Lightworkers Secret to Success. And I'm so excited today to have Maya the Shaman with us today. I want to introduce my partners. We have Pamela Allen, who's a fantastic theta healer. We have Adam Shaskowski, who is my other half, my husband. He's also a life coach. And gosh, you have many different energy healing modalities that you do now, and also does some crypto stuff. And we have Colette Gallagher, who's a good friend, and she does access bars, access consciousness, different body processes. She's also a teacher of wonderful children, so she's busy as well. And myself, Amanda, I'm an energy healer. I'm an angel activator. Adam and I are twin flames, so we have that in common. And we started this program so that we could bring light workers to the world. And we're all light workers, and we wanted to learn more about other people and what they're doing in the world and how they're contributing to humanity and to the collective, and what like sets you on fire. So that's kind of our thing, like, oh, what lights you up, what brings you joy. So we're so thankful that you came here today, Maya. Thank you so much. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. I'm Maya the Shaman, and I'm going to be launching my academy called Lemurian Code Academy this year.
Wow.
And I'm the creator of Lemurian Code Healing and Infinite Cosmic Records. I also wrote a book called Infinite Cosmic Records, Sacred Doorways to Healing and Remembering.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, I am I have done several collaborative books with Rada Publishing House.
Yeah.
Awakening Star Seeds, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I think I gave you my list, but
Yeah.
you can go ahead
And
and
in
talk
this
about
one, the energy, energy healing and soul medicine. You're in this one, the first chapter. That
Yes.
was talking about your infinite cosmic records. That's wonderful. Now, how did you get into that? Like, how did you know? Like, how did you tap into that? Did you always know, or is this something that was, did you stumble across it? How did you get your start?
Well, when I was young, I'm always a pretty intuitive child, and I come from a family of psychics and shamans, and so it's natural for me to kind of get into this field. It almost feel like second nature. And so when I began my journey to spirituality, because it starts with my spiritual journey,
Yeah.
it's a pretty powerful experience that I've had. I have a master when I was 17 years old. His name is Sri Sri Anandamurti. He's a yogi master. He's an ascended master, but he has passed away already.
Okay.
He left his body already. So in this experience, I have a very traumatic experience because my father, who was working on a ship that was crossing the Red China Sea when I was just 17 years old. I'm from the Philippines originally, which is its original name is Maharlika. And anyhow, Marcos has sent people out of the country at that time to get work, worldwide. And so my father, he was an engineer. He's really accomplished, but he could not find any job in the Philippines. So the sad story was this was his second job outside the country. He was working in this ship, the Greek ship, when a storm came, and it was in the middle of the night. He doesn't know how to swim, and this ship just went underneath the ocean. It was a very traumatic experience.
Yeah.
But because of that, I gained some very deep spiritual knowledge. And through the help of my ascended master, Sri Sri Anandamurti, which I didn't see him personally, but his spirit was so strong. He's an Indian master.
Okay.
And he put me on a spiritual journey where I just went into a deep meditation. That's all I wanted to do. I meditated so many times a day, sometimes 4 times a day, after my father has been missing. I locked my door and all I did was just meditate, to the point that I was saying mantras that are so powerful that when I was just about to go to sleep, just in between the timeline, sleeping, awakened and sleep, I took off and this whirl of light took me and steered me into it, almost like pulled me into another realm of reality. And all I see was bright white light. And it took me to a really infinite realm, I would say.
Mhm.
It was so profound. I could not believe it the first time, because I start seeing planets, galaxies, and then I felt like I was in this universe, a cosmic space where it's infinite. So I could not believe that first experience, but it happened again every night.
Oh,
It
every
happened the second night, the third night, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh night. So
wow.
for 7 nights, I experienced this incredible spiritual awakening.
Mm.
And then after that, I, for one entire year, I could not speak. I took the vow of silence, basically,
Oh,
because it was so profound, so deep. My spiritual experience was out of this world. I could not speak, nor
yeah,
do I want to speak.
yeah.
There was no words I
To
can
explain it. Yeah,
explain or
yeah.
talk to anyone about it.
Mhm.
So, that continued to remembering my past, which
Mhm.
is my grandmother used to tell me stories. She would look up into the sky. The Philippines was originally named Lemuria, Maharlika, which is a segment of Lemuria or Mu, the lost continent of the Pacific.
Mhm.
So there's an ancient, background to my ancestry, and so I remember after this experience, stories told by my grandmother,
Mhm.
and that my great great grandfather, her grandfather, is able to walk on water, travel through space and time without anything except for a bubble of light that he would ride into.
Mhm.
And then he can go in and out of portals. So going through this process of remembering, I become more and more curious. So I start asking more questions from her. I delve into the past of our ancestry, realize that wow, we have a connection to someone's very, very special. And then through the process, it took slow process, a realization. It didn't happen. The enlightenment didn't happen overnight. It was step by step. I was guided by my ascended masters. So both of them by Sri Sri Anandamurti and my great great grandfather Don Pedro, who is the Lemurian shaman. And his way of doing it with me, to connect with me, is very different from my spiritual master, my guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti, who would knock on my walls. He would knock on my refrigerator. Sometimes he would knock on the ceiling. And then I realized at that point in time, okay, this is very unusual, and I remember all the stories that my grandma's told me. So I said, okay, Don Pedro is here and
Mm.
he wants to provide me messages.
Mhm.
So I would close my eyes. And because I'm so deep into meditation, it's easy and effortless and it's so quick to get the downloads.
Get the message. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he would tell me things that it's very profound, certain things about the future, certain things about what's taking place in the world, and galactic experiences that I received from him.
He's
So then
here right now too. Your grandfather's here right now because he's making my heart beat really like it right here, just like to remind you, like I'm here. So he's part of the session too. He's part of the interview too.
yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And so if you want me to continue or you have questions, please do ask
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
yeah. No, we love your story. Go ahead. We just love it.
Okay, so the infinite cosmic records has been developed through the process of remembering.
Okay, nice.
And what he helped me to remember, what Don Pedro helped me to remember, was my past lives. And so he would show me who I was in another lifetime, one lifetime after another, my people connection in this lifetime that I meet again, so that my karma would work, would clear out whatever karma I have with these people, will either, embody the moment to learn how to do the lessons, the forgiveness, the completion of whatever I needed to complete. So many, many lifetimes. And I was living in Ashland, Oregon at that time. I was married to a Norwegian man at that time. But I was asked to move to the Appalachian Mountains through him. And this is so new to me. I've never been here. I'm actually here right now at the Appalachian Mountains, and I live at the top of the mountains. So it's really hard to find me. You cannot even find me in the Google map.
You probably need that serenity though, right? To have all the nature around you and to just be away from the city so that you can get all your downloads, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So here it's very precious because I have discovered that one of my lifetime I was a Cherokee Indian.
Mm.
And at the spot where I built my house actually is exactly the place where I was born as a Cherokee Indian.
Wow.
Yeah. The road here, there's a road called Catawba Road, which is a Cherokee Indian road,
Yeah.
and a lot of visions came to me when I'm in the beginning when I was here, because I come in and out. It's very difficult to live in this place
Yeah.
because it's very
The
I would
density,
say
the density is too tough.
it is, all I see around me right here, if I look throughout my windows, is all huge trees.
Yeah.
I'm way in the midst of the forest.
Wow.
Wild animals like cougar or bears would be coming around just 10 feet away from me, wild turtles, lots of different types of animals, and snakes even come inside my house, and I have to talk to them and get them out of my house
Oh my
gently.
gosh. Yeah. Wow.
And I live here by myself for a while because I got divorced from my husband. And what I learned is that having the sanctuary of nature and being fearless, even if I'm on my own, is a good thing. It really gives you that spiritual journey to really hone in my shamanic work, because I do shamanic work. And
I'm interested in hearing more about your shamanic work, because I always want to know how people become shamans or what it takes to become a shaman. Because I know, we think a lot about certifications. Oh, you need to go through this course or this process, and then you get certified. But being a shaman is a little bit different, is it not?
well, it's in my ancestral lineage. There's this whole thing about because my great grandfather Don Pedro is a galactic shaman, and he has been waiting for the right person to take on the spiritual process of unfolding the knowledge, and no one in the family from one generation to the next have taken it on. And so they say this is their saying, is that it will be passed on to the person that is open and ready to receive the gifts. And so that is the initiation of my own lineage, of my shamanic lineage, through the process of direct contact with someone that is before me. That's for me. I don't know the other shamans how they do it, but that is the how I have learned my shamanism.
Okay.
That's amazing. Wow, this story is just so fascinating to me. So your grandfather could walk on water, and do all these cool things. Have you, what do you think is like, because I've heard of people doing that, and because I can't do it, it's so like hard to believe, right?
It
And so,
is.
but I know people are doing it. So I'm just curious, like, is there something that your grandfather has taught you? Or like, what do you think is the most unbelievable thing that your grandfather has taught you?
Well, what he taught me was that, in the third dimension, in the earthly realm, we have rules to follow, just as much as in other higher dimensions, and we abide those rules. So if we don't abide the divine rules, the cosmic rules, there is, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. This is the law of karma.
Mm.
The karma will collect its its due when it's needed at a specific time. There is that whole spiritual realm that talks about karma, right? And you know that. So there's let me give you a little story about Don Pedro. It's funny because I've told this story already before online, but I'll tell you again. The story was one time he wanted to go to America. He said he told his family, I'm leaving my house. I'm going to travel to America. I will be gone for 3 days. And then while he was gone, robbers came to his house and stole all his goods, put him on the sack, ready. Once it was all filled in, they were ready to go out. But all of a sudden, there was no door or windows they can go out. He closed all the portals. It was completely locked out. So they were there for 3 days and 3 nights. And by the time Don Pedro arrived, he already brought with him a policeman because he knew exactly what's taking place. He's the ultimate, knower of what's happening.
Yeah.
So what the lesson that I've learned is that he's teaching us that there are rules and regulations that we need to follow in third dimension, and we need to follow them on a benevolent level. When a malevolent force comes in, the whole point of our existence on planet Earth is to create paradise. That was the ultimate, that was the first desire of the creator of the higher realms, is to create a beautiful world for us, a beautiful blue planet, a gem that sparks in this universe and provides us with what we need. But what happened and what has taken place, from what I've gathered from Don Pedro, is that since there has been a galactic war, and this war has caused the portals to open up because there has been a fight between light and dark, and this has been going on for thousands of years, thousands and thousands. And so there has been cycles where, the golden age was once present on planet Earth, and then comes the degeneration of humanity, where we have gotten more and more in our dark agenda, which was created by I would say the galactic beings of the dark that came to planet Earth, because we're here supposedly to be a co-creator. God has given us all these properties and infinite possibilities, but what happened is that we have been played with, and so our DNA, our chakras has been manipulated. Our consciousness has gone down, lower down to as much as we are right now. And our hope is that we can rise above all this and really work on the development of our consciousness, so that our chakras can awaken, and then all of us have the potential of infinite possibilities. But it's really, right now, for a lot of people, they say it's very hard to do, right? It's kind of near impossible in a 3D realm where everything has been downgraded.
Yeah.
So,
Even our DNA. you know, has been downgraded where, you know, we can't live our full potential. And I feel like we're all trying to awaken to our true essence and our true being. And it can be very difficult in this 3D reality. So, what do you see for the future?
Well, I'm so blessed to have a great master, guru named Sri Shivananda Murtiji, because my favorite thing that I've learned from him is that the future is brighter than you can ever imagine. And I wrote it in my books
Yes,
too. Yeah.
yes, yes. I
Because,
feel that. I feel the energy coming in. There's like this separation happening, and it feels lighter. It feels like, oh, it's almost like we can get excited. We almost have that excitement inside of us. I don't know if the rest of anybody else has been feeling that lately, but I have. I've been feeling that, especially before I go to bedtime, and I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful and, you know, grateful for this and that, and I just feel that excitement.
well, it's
I,
because,
I definitely feel that.
Mhm.
yes, yes. Would you like me to add something to this one? Because I because I feel that the time is very near for us. We are in between timelines right now. We're
Yeah.
in between the Kali Yuga, which is the age of darkness, and Satya Yuga, which is the age of light and truth. And this is where those who are light workers like us will show ourselves more. And the dark beings or dark workers, as we call them too, will show themselves as well.
Yeah.
So now you can see everywhere, even in YouTube, that people are teaching other people black magic and they're doing all these things. It's really wild stuff. They're showing who they are, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's, you know, what started all of this, and I don't know if anybody else is aware of this, even in our little group. Adam and I are. Adam and I were being attacked spiritually by a coven of witches, and we had to break free from. We were finally shown who was behind it all, so we were like, oh my gosh! So we had to break free from everything, and so we spoke to Rada, and I felt, and so she and I were doing some work, and I just said, you know, we need to get back into doing our podcasts, our interviewing, and getting those light workers back out, because I feel like when you are um, connected with other light beings and, you know, your kind of tribe, even if you don't know them, it gives you that energy and gives you that confidence of moving forward. Like you're really not alone. Like you're alone in the forest, but you have all of us now that you can reach out to, and we can, you know, support each other. And that's the whole idea of having our channel, is to, because being a light worker can be kind of lonely sometimes. Well, I don't think you're lonely, Maya, because you you like to astral travel and meditate and be with all the great beings. So I don't know if you ever get bored, or but if you ever need friends when you're coming back down into this reality, we're all here for you. But I find it amazing, and I know Adam and I went to Costa Rica. We did ayahuasca, and I was shown that I was supposed to, well, we were supposed to open up a holistic healing center, and I was shown by grandmother ayahuasca that that I am a shaman. But, you know, I feel like, well, I don't know where that would come from. Who would it come from? How do I get that? So I've been kind of on a quest to figure out, like, what does that even mean for me as an individual? Because but I just don't have the answers yet. So that's why Adam was asking, like, how do you do that? Because, and I've always known that usually the shamanism is passed down from generation to generation. So,
So yeah, so let me just add a little something to that, because that's beautiful. So people don't have the direct lineage to shamanism, can call themselves shaman practitioners.
okay, nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
because then you're practicing shamanism. You can learn as much as you can from
Yeah.
the authentic shamans, and create this pathway for others also to connect with you, because the whole point is to assist others and to awaken, you know, that the cosmic connection. So yes, you could
Mhm.
be shaman practitioners.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that, because I feel like you have to have, I feel like you have to have that connection. And not to say I don't, because I do have, I mean, I do have Native American blood lying on both sides. And in a past life, I was Pocahontas. And so one of my guides is her father. And so that's one of the guys that showed me who I was, and it was a very unique experience. But so it could be from that line too. It doesn't have to be from, I guess, this earthly line, but from a past life connection as well, correct?
Awesome. And so I have a question. With all of the changes that you were talking about in the world and how we're meant to be here and we're meant to bring, you know, love and peace, but then there's this polarity here. What advice would you give people who really do have that desire to bring the light to the world, to bring the earth back to the Garden of Eden, to the paradise that we know it can be? And yeah.
You know, life is in existence for us to know about the material things, right? So the practical reality of this day-to-day living can be applied. You know, it's very in a simple way. For example, recycling, you know, loving nature so that plastics and things like that don't have to be thrown or be moved into the ocean, and the animals would be dying from eating plastics. Very simple things like that. You know, let's recycle, right?
Yeah.
Let's be kind to each other, you know. Let's help each other raise frequencies. Let's, you know, let's awaken each other through this. What you're doing right here, right now is beautiful. I love being a part of this. So yeah, so let's continue to create, you know, work on a spiritual realm like this, because this is what's needed. You know, one person can be truly be enlightened just because, oh, I heard about recycling can be a part of light workers, you know, job. Yes, you know, simple things like that.
Yeah.
And having to expand our consciousness, read more books, listen to more videos like this, you know, be a part of the group like this, you know, enhance our relationship with each other, be connecting, you know, like connect the dots of light workers. I love this. And this is what we need in our world right now, because one light, like think about it, like a strand of lights, one bulb, a small bulb, you know, if there's more bulbs in a strand, it will lit up a whole space, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's do that all together.
Yes.
And of course, there's many more things we can talk about. We can cover that next time, right?
Well, you're welcome to come back and join us anytime you want to. I mean, we love having talks like this, just free and open. Like I said, you know, we have to be each other's support, you know, when we're here on this earth. So Maya, what is your next project that you're working on?
Well, before we get into that, I
I'm
want
so
to
sorry.
know kind of your past stuff that you've been into. So some of your past books before we get into what you're doing next. But maybe you want to talk a little bit about your books and what if someone were to buy it and they read your chapter, what would someone experience getting out of the books, or what could they expect?
All right. So most of the books that Rada Publishing House have put out is about spiritual knowledge. It's about, like, the first 3 books that she put out was by Rada is Awakening Star Seeds, volume 1, 2, and 3. And it, you know, the title in itself will tell you Awakening Star Seeds. You know, they really can benefit from the stories that people share in the books, because these 3 books are collaborative books, including energy healing and soul medicine. This is also a collaborative book. And so these are all the healers that we have, that we are so proud to have it be a bestseller at Amazon. So we're grateful for Rada Publishing House for putting out these books. But she has put out other books that I'm a part of that are collaborative, like Pillars of Light, you know, Goddess Activations. These are beautiful books that really allows you to know people's experiences. Okay. And of course, stories that are filled with challenges and not all like, like all love and light, right? Because we go through the struggle in the third dimension. We have to see that it's a spectrum, it has all shades, from dark to light, with all the colors in between and all the shades. So my latest book is Infinite Cosmic Records, Sacred Doorways to Healing and Remembering. And this is the book. I wish I have it right in front of me right now, but oh, wait a minute. Let me just grab it.
Okay.
Sorry, I just have to do this because hold on. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay. So this book talks about my spiritual journey, how I have become a shaman healer, and my guides and my journey towards doing my modalities. So it's really a good book to read if you want to get to know more about the kind of work that I do, and my guides, my shaman guides, my Don Pedro and my master. And then my whole desire at one time when I was just working on this book a couple of years ago is to write it myself, but this is the thing. I think people will get a better experience if my clients write their own story about how they were on the journey of the shamanic journey with me. So I asked about 18 of my clients, can you please share your stories in my book? And surprisingly, they all said yes.
Nice.
So I was very happy to give them space in my book with who they are, what they do in their lives, and all of that. So this is the book.
Yeah. Nice. I
Amazing.
love that. I love that. I go back as the energy healer, I'll ask people too, because you really don't know how you're impacting your clients' lives. And because you do your sessions and then, you're working with someone else, and it's easy to kind of forget. And so when I go back, I say, hey, or they'll call me and say, I just have to tell you what happened since our session. Right. And you're just like, oh my gosh, so much change and possibilities. And I'm always just fascinated by what's healed and what comes up. And I love hearing all the stories. So I'm so happy that they took you up on that offer and shared their stories with it in a book. So that's so nice. I just saw that on Facebook. I saw the picture and I thought, oh, I like that. I want to get it.
Yeah,
Maya, I have a question for you. I'm curious, is there a difference between the Akashic records and what you're talking about? Is it the same? Is it similar? Or is there totally two different sets?
Okay, so I've learned a little bit about Akashic records from another woman who's doing it. That was way before I put this together. And I didn't get a whole lot from her, maybe just because she's different than other people. But Infinite Cosmic Records, from what I could say, is, when you have a specific intention, you bring it to the table to Infinite Cosmic Records, it will give you a very precise answer. And what happens? Okay, this is what happens in Infinite Cosmic Records sessions. Once I lead you towards the process and we get to the point, I use also hypnosis, a little bit of hypnosis to get them, and I cleanse their chakras. That's very important because before you get into Infinite Cosmic Records, your chakras need to be more open and cleansed, so that I have a protocol. And I also connect this to the heart of the universe so that it's really the heart of the universe that is downloading information to my clients. I am just a conduit. I don't say I'm the one doing it. The universe, the creator of all that is, the highest truth, is the one that is involved in the process. I am just a space holder for them. And so they come into the space and my guidance assists them to opening up portals to their past lives. Okay. And during that process, I will ask them in specific spaces where they will move into a doorway, for example, of the unknown. Okay. This doorway, each doorway that will be presented to them will open into something totally unknown, but it's related to what they're seeking. And so I will ask them if there's anyone in that space. It can be an animal spirit. It can be their spiritual guides. It can be their a family member that will provide answer. So during that time, they will go through the process. They will see what's taking place, exactly what they needed to see. I will see it with them because I'm connected to them in the spiritual realm. So whatever they're seeing, I'm seeing it myself. I'm not separate from this. We're all doing this together with my client. And when they're presented, even an object will mean something very important to this particular person. So we would ask question, what message do they have to deliver for this person, for this particular client? And then they will get the answer, specific answer, And so this is how it's done. And in one session, you could enter 3 different lifetimes, 3 of your past lives. It's very much related to gearing to your past lives. You can do it to your past, to find out what your past lives are, or to resolve something in the current lifetime that is revolving in your life that never seem to just get out of hand. It's sticky, it's doing its looping, and you're getting so tired of this, and you wonder, what kind of karma is this? What is in it? Why are you experiencing the same thing over and over again? It just seems so redundant. And so this is the time where you can bring your current lifetime to the session and you will get the answer. So, or some of my clients who have been like doing so much work already on, spiritual work or healing work, they would like to see their future. And the universe will grant them the possibility of seeing that. So, the difference between what you're asking for, Akashic records and infinite cosmic records, I would say that infinite cosmic records, you're able to have direct communication with the beings or messengers that's delivered to you to provide you direct answer. I'm not telling you these things,
Yeah.
You're getting it directly because what happens is that we go into a higher frequency. This is no longer 3D, it's a frequency that allows you to open up. You also open up your portal at that moment in time. There's no more blockage, but it has to do with a specific question or specific desire for you to resolve. That's being asked because infinite cosmic records, we have been in so many lifetimes. We come from the source of all that is. And so our lifetimes is countless. We're infinite. And so in this lifetime, we're given the opportunity to do this. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. And so I'm blessed to have this modality that was gifted to me. And I'm willing to share that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So exciting. Yeah, I always ask myself, what am I missing? What is it that I'm missing that I need to see that I can't see? Because when you're talking about the loop, I'm like, gosh, I feel like I'm in this loop that I can't get out of with everything, in my, I don't know. I'm like the eye of the tornado. So I'm like, what is that I'm missing? And that's kind of like why I got into energy healing, is because I wanted to help my help people in addiction. I have children that are in addiction, and I'm like, okay, it has to start with me. I'm gonna start healing myself, and then heal the people around me, heal them when I get a chance to, when they'll allow me to, and then just take one day at a time and support them and love them. But I always think there has to be something else that I'm missing. So for me, I've been on a quest of finding the right healing to help people like get out of their addiction. So that's kind of been my main focus. So when you're saying like you can see it, it's like, oh yeah, I know there's something deeper, and yeah, one day we'll get to that little we'll get it, and we'll be able to heal from it and move on from it, because that's what I'm waiting for.
Sometimes our challenges in life are actually the blessings that we did not expect. Because what happens is that you will go through it and go through it and go through it until you become a master of that. So what the universe is asking us is to be patient, to be resilient, and to know that there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing,
Yeah. I do believe all that as well. Yeah. But I always say, I say, I don't want to, like, I pray and I say, I don't want to experience losing a child in this lifetime. I don't want to experience that. So I just say, if that was on my blueprint, erase that. I don't want that experience. We've lost so many people that are close to the family that I don't want to have to go through that. So that's one of my biggest prayers, is not having to experience that in this lifetime.
You might want to go to Infinite Cosmic Records.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Wow. Does anyone else have any questions for Maya?
How can someone support you? So if, is it just buying your books, or do you have like online courses, or do you have like workshops that people can attend to? How can someone support you in your mission that you're on right now?
This is beautiful. Thank you. I am going to be launching Lemurian Code Academy towards the end of this year, and I'm creating programs which could be very beneficial, even if a person wants to know the basic ways on how to do breath work properly, how to cleanse chakra, how to do muscle testing, how to work with dark forces so that you are not being infiltrated by it, protection, anything that has to do with the light and with the dark. I cover those things because I myself have experienced a lot of black magic, and I worked through that process. But anyhow, so my courses is very deep. I have the basic, the advanced, and mastery program. And the Infinite Cosmic Records is actually the mastery program. So, and they can send me an email to lemuriancodehealing@gmail.com if they would like to know more about this.
Nice. And we're going to put all your information also in the description, so that if people when people watch this, they can just click right to you and get to you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I learned so much today.
I did too. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you so much.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I love all of this stuff. Thank you for being on here today.
Yes, thank you for being here too. This is like a surprise for me because I thought it would just be Amanda, but
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh I should have warned you. We're a whole team here, and so we're just like, let's learn everything we can learn from each other.
Yes. And thank you for inviting me. I'm so honored to be with you today, each and every one of you. You're just beautiful people that are extending our light with each other. And so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank our listeners and our viewers for being with us today. And if you're catching the recording, please like and subscribe. Share this to other people that you think that are light workers that could use the message here today, who could connect to Maya. We appreciate you being here, and we will see you guys next Monday. Thank you.